Do you think there's an element that we're in this world of polarization, and we'll call it clickbait, because of how the algorithms are controlling us? I'll give you an example. For probably a decade, I did how-to videos. How to get out of debt, how to make money, how to become a millionaire, how to. Very practical and tactical, instructional, and they worked. And they built my career. They don't work anymore. No. If I put a how-to video out, no one watches it. And it pisses me off. Mm-hmm. And every now and again, I'm like, I don't really want to do all this clickbaity stuff, even though I know, for me, if there's clickbait, but the art behind it is true to me, I can live with that. But I'd actually rather just say how-to, And every now and again, I test a how-to video, and it always bums. I can have videos with 10 million views, and my how-to will get 3,000 views. Does that not suck? And is that not what the social media algorithms are doing to us?
It's such a piss off. I've discussed this even just earlier today. I have two different topics. I can say, this man just won the contest. It gets no views. This man lost the contest, will get 10 times more views. It's better to get 1 million views than 100,000, even though I have to be negative in the title or the thumbnail to get people to click. But once you click on that video and you watch it, you will then understand the video. So anyone who sees the titles and thumbnails of my videos and don't watch it will have a certain impression of me. Anyone who's watched my videos will have a completely different impression. So all the haters that I get, they're from 1% of the population who are not watching my videos and simply commenting before watching. You read it. I'll say, Sam Sulik's diet critique. And they'll be like, why are you hating his diet? I might say, it was amazing. This is perfect, a new diet that he's on. They haven't watched it, so they're just going by the negativity in the title and assuming it's bad. So I don't worry
But then you did create that negativity
Absolutely,
in the title.
Absolutely, you have to because of the algorithm. I'd rather 1 million people watch my video and learn how to eat healthy than 100,000 people watch it because I had the proper title and only 100,000 people learn from it. Everyone knows that the title and the thumbnail and the clickbait is part of the video. Now, I'm not going to clickbait it and lie about something I said, but if it's a quote from the video or whatnot, I mean, it's fair game.
When does this end, though?
It will never end.
But the thing is, it's got to end in the end, hasn't it?
Everything it's keep getting worse.
Yeah, until we're going, rape, murder, eat broccoli. You can't go that far.
Yeah, I mean, if you clickbait to that extent, people will start recognizing that and they won't be able to do it. Like in Mr. Beast videos, he's not going to lie about what happens. There has to be a moment in the video that represents what you said in the thumbnail.
Yeah, true. But you said it never ends. And if clickbait, is getting more competitive and the algorithms are creating more polarization, when does it end?
I have no idea, but I know that you have to do what you have to do to get your views.
Is that not tiring?
It's very tiring. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for me, for my editors, the people that are working for me, because they know the positive message that I'm sending, and we have to almost have a negative message to get the positivity out. Yeah,
this actually, I don't like this about the world.
Worse than this is you have to literally say what's not true to really get a video going. So for example, ego lifting is not good in the gym. That would be like lifting really heavy weights and cheap. If I make a video and say why you should be ego lifting in the gym, it'll get way more views than the opposite. Or if I say why you should never eat apples, it'll get way more views than why eating apples is good for you. You have to say the opposite. And so what people are doing now is, and TikTok and the short form content, people are watching the shortest content that says the opposite. Like if I say, The Rock has a shitty physique, everyone's watching. Coach Greg is going to talk bad about his body. You basically, people in social media now are essentially lying about things,
that makes me
saying the opposite, and it's being pushed.
Yeah.
Like if I said not eating for 3 days straight is healthy, it builds more muscle, everyone wants to watch that video, even though it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If anything you say that's the opposite, people want to see.
Yeah, this creates a real moral dilemma for me in that if I want to be successful in getting my message out to the world, I have to play this game.
Yes.
Because I can be the hoity-toity, I'm not going to play this game, I'm going to do my art exactly how I should, and no one's going to fucking watch it.
Exactly.
But then I feel like a whore.
You have to do a bit of both, and you have to only push that line to where you're going to push that line.
Do you not feel like an algorithm whore?
I absolutely do not, because what I post in the title is going to be.
But you are. You've admitted you are.
Well, consider this. If you tell me The Rock's physique sucks, that would be my title. The Rock's physique sucks. And then in the video, I'll say, I was talking to this guy and he says, The Rock's physique sucks. What is he talking about? It's amazing. It's better physique than 99.9% of the population. And so I'm using the title to then talk about and defend The Rock. So is it bad? The clickbait is there, but the whole video is talking in relation to that title. So I'm not I'm not taking his physique and shrinking it down and making it look small, which you could do. Like you can use like...
But I guess you could say that his physique sucks if you're looking at it from the vantage point of a 25-year-old female who likes 15% body fat.
Exactly. Whatever. People say my physique sucks. So I put, my physique is mid. They said I have a mid physique. Mid means like average. And I'm like, I'm not a big
what does that make me?
If I have an average looking physique, what hope do most guys have? So that was the title of my video. And then I start reading the comments and I'm like, are you kidding me? You think this is average? That's going to create body dysmorphia for young people. They're thinking Greg's physique is sucks. They're talking about my stomach having loose skin. I'm like, I'm 48 years old. If this is loose skin, what hope do most people have? What hope do pregnant women have who had a baby? And so I use those comments as a clickbait to watch that video, but I don't feel bad about doing that at all.
No, it's something I've known underneath, but you've given me a little bit of an epiphany here in this discussion, which is it's actually very creative to take a negative headline and then spin it positively.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, that in itself is artistic. So I like that.
Some people hate that, and they would 100% be on your side, and they would argue against what I do. I get it all the time. Recently, a perfect
but
example,
you have 2 million followers, and they don't.
The Trend Twins, they went and one of the guys went into the hospital. He had overdosed on caffeine. He was taken to hospital, and he had a video of him, and he's like, killed by caffeine. That's what he said in his video. And so I copied that and put it in the title. Killed by caffeine, and he had said it. And in the video I said, he said he got killed by caffeine, he overdosed, but he clearly wasn't dead. A lot of people were mad at me because they thought I had said that he was killed by caffeine in the title. I was copying his video. So you can see, is it morally wrong to do that? I'm copying what he said.
Well, no,
the words he said. I didn't make up those words. If I had just said killed by caffeine as a clickbait title, when he wasn't killed, he just went to the hospital. To me, that would be wrong because that is a lie. But if I'm copying his quoted material, like there's video of him saying it, I think that's fair game. Yeah,
I think you're right. Okay, right. I've got some more research I've done here. So the New York Times declared most fitness influencers are doing more harm than good. What are your thoughts on this?
I would say they're wrong. I would say most fitness influencers are doing more good than harm. Most fitness influencers are trying to encourage people to go and be fit. They're trying to get them to go to the gym and work out. Now, are they being honest about it? Perhaps not. It would be like saying, is Eddie Abu doing more harm than good? Eddie Abu wants people to stop eating junk food, but at the same time, he's saying things that make no sense, like drinking skim milk is bad, you should only drink whole milk, that fruit is bad, you shouldn't eat apples, bananas, oranges because of the sugar content. All wrong, at least in my opinion, but he's doing more good than harm by a long shot. He's got over 3 million followers. He's encouraging people to stop eating junk food, to start reading food labels at the grocery store saying stop eating chemicals. That is a great message. And so I applaud him for doing that. Now, I will pick on the negative parts of his message, which are the facts he gets incorrect. But I think for sure, without question, more good than harm.
If there's one thing you could change in the fitness industry other than the steroids thing we've talked about, what would it be?
Having realistic goals and realistic expectations. I think most people who are in the fitness industry, YouTube famous influencers, have amazing genetics, like 99 percentile, super good genetics. And because they work hard, they show their physiques and say, see, I worked hard and you can look like me if you just put in the work. They cannot. 99% of people can't do that because you only can look like that if you have those amazing genetics to start with. So what you're doing is you're telling people, if you work out hard for 2 years, you're going to look kind of like this. And then they go work out hard for 2 years and they don't look anything like that. They feel bad about their bodies and they think, why am I not looking like that? Men could train for 10 years and never look like I did as a 19-year-old because my genetics were really good. And so they get discouraged, they can't get that physique, and then they feel bad about themselves, they have body dysmorphia, and then that leads to steroid use, SARMs, growth hormone, all the negative things, because they want to have the body of their dreams that they thought was possible when it never was. And so my message has been, halfway there, I'll say, close your eyes, imagine your dream physique. Now open them. You're not getting it. Because most people want to look like either Brad Pitt in Fight Club, or Cristiano Ronaldo, or The Rock, or any of these superstar athletes. And I'm like, 1 in 1,000 can look like that, and that's all your goals. I'm not saying don't try to look like that, but don't expect it. Have realistic goals. Can you put on 5 pounds of muscle in a year? Probably. You probably can't put on 5 in a month, though. So let's have realistic goals for most people, so that they don't feel depressed and that they'll be have a good time going to the gym. Because if you join the gym and you think, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 3 months and put on 20 pounds of muscle, well, you saw it in a before and after transformation and you don't get it, you're going to feel like you did wrong, you're going to discourage, and you're going to quit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I'm in an industry where I help people be entrepreneurs and become financially independent. Do I think that's possible for anyone? Yes, I do. If they do exactly what other people have done to do it. Do and will most people do it? No.
But let's change that to being a millionaire. $1 million income per year. Could everyone get $1 million income per year if they follow the best advice?
Now, this is nuanced, so I want to try and respect the nuance and not just be flippant. I think if you're in Africa with no internet connection and no water and you're riddled with disease and you can't even get to a library, no. I think if you're in the first world developed country and you're broke, but there's the internet and a library and people you can follow, yes. So let's put that aside and maybe let's just for ease say half the population, they haven't even got access to it. It's not their fucking fault.
Right.
And they're dying. No, they can't become millionaires in 3 years following a system.
Yeah.
But can anyone in the developed world, with the information that's out there, find millionaires who will give content for free and then read their books and then go and to their seminars and then figure out what they did and maybe go and work for them as a bit of an apprentice and learn the rules of money and get out of debt and manage your emotions and have a plan and build a business model that works in the modern world? Anyone can fucking do that.
But what if their IQ were 40?
Probably better.
Really?
Yeah, you don't need to be... The most intelligent people are generally not rich.
That is actually true. However, I think there's a minimum requirement. Like, let's say an IQ of 100 with a standard deviation of 15. If you're 2 standard deviations below the mean, that's 70. You're at the bottom 2% of the population. Yeah, probably going to be difficult to even graduate high school.
Well, maybe, but like often the most successful people didn't even graduate high school.
This is true.
Because they learned street smarts. And the problem with the IQ system test and the education system is it's often just reciting information you've been force-fed to recite. Does that make you a millionaire? No. How many people in the school system who are teaching you this stuff are millionaire? None of them. There's so many theoretical economists who earn 50 grand a year teaching in schools.
Correct.
I'm not a theoretical economist and I'm richer than all of the theoretical economists because I'm a real life economist. So actually, I don't like looking at averages and means and statistics because then you're measuring yourself against average and mean and statistics.
Yeah. I think what I would compare to, and everything you're saying makes perfect sense, would be, let's say their goal is to make $1 million a year. I would tell them, based on my point, why don't we make a goal of 100 grand, which is much more realistic.
Yeah, and
then if we make the $1 million, it's like reaching for the stars and getting to the moon. I'd rather reach the moon and then maybe we can get to the stars from there.
Yeah, well,
realistic goals.
Yeah, well, that's sensible. I mean, the thing is, I've not said anyone can be a millionaire in 3 years. I'm saying anyone could be a millionaire in a given time frame. But to be a millionaire, first of all, you have to get out of debt. So if you're minus 50, let's not get to $1 million, let's get to 0, and then 100, and then 500.
Yes.
But a millionaire would know that. You would know that because you're wealthy from what you do. So you know that practically. You don't need a high IQ to know that.
Correct. Yes.
You need someone who's been there and done it.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
So here's my challenge, because I've been doing this for 17 years. I have the biggest property training company in the UK, and for many years I carried this moral dilemma with me, and I've thrown it away now. Is statistically I know most people will fail. So what should I do? I not teach my stuff then?
You absolutely should. And the analogy would be 95% of diets fail. Does that mean I shouldn't try to lose weight?
Yeah.
You were on the same page.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if I can take it from 5% succeed to 7.5% succeed, I've doubled.
You've absolutely done your job.
And I've done an amazing job. And if you scale that up over millions of people, but what I teach, will most people do anything with it? Probably not.
But it doesn't matter. Some will.
Yeah, exactly.
So for some people.
So you absolutely still should keep doing it.
Absolutely.
All right. Sounds like we agree on that.
Yes, we do.
Right. Are bodybuilders happy?
I would say in general, the answer is no. I'd almost say that the average bodybuilder is less happy than the person that don't. And I have a lot of experience because I've coached thousands of people. They get into the sport and they're happy with their bodies. You're a 16-year-old kid, you're 12. At some point, you probably are happy. When you're born, I don't think you look at your stomach and think, I don't have a six-pack. At some point, you're dissatisfied with your body, whether it's
because you compared it to other people.
Comparing yourself to other people. As soon as you're bodybuilding, you're literally being compared to other people and given a dopamine, a reward, a prize at the end of it saying you're better than that person. You enter your first show, which I did. I won. Great. Now I'm basing my self-worth on how I look. And let's go to the next level. Let's go to provincials. I win again. All right. Let's go to the Atlantic champ. I win again. I go to the nationals third. Oh, well, I thought I was real. Next year I'll come back. And eventually I go and I win. And then you turn pro and then you're compared. And so all the time you're dissatisfied with your body because you keep comparing yourself to people who are better. If you're not a bodybuilder, you're just running, you're a bike rider. You don't really look at your body that much. You're not comparing yourself to people all the time. And so you're way more happy because you don't have this notion that you have to look a certain way. As soon as you enter bodybuilding, 25% of people in sports that have a weight class have an eating disorder. Imagine how strong or how high that is in bodybuilding, where you're not based on just a weight category, but also on how you look. I'd say it's 50% of people who bodybuild have an eating disorder legit.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And so my job as a coach, oftentimes I deal more with the mental struggles than the physical. I can give you a diet and a whole thing. And to me, that's so easy. But the mental struggles, that's why I'm reading so many books, dealing with people that have suffer from anorexia or body dysmorphia or just how do you get a girl? How do you talk to a woman? These are the questions I'm getting. I'm almost more of a life coach right now than I was a coach of somebody just giving them a diet and a training program. To me, that's easy. Anyone can do that. But the mental struggles, and because I've had this in my own past, in my own life, and because I'm often like talking to these people and my history as a school teacher, I think it's allowed me the opportunity to help these people a lot more than the average person.